Good morning, everybody. I think you guys can hear me. First in, Trail Dust and Shane. How y'all doing? What's up? How you doing, Stephen Parsons? Why so sad, man? Hubcap, I love you, brother. Hope you're feeling better. Um, what's up? What's up, Bortagov? Ben Tunes. Shane Malone. We've got First Degree Forge. What up, Josh? Um, And that's it. All y'all. I got those many. I got 11 viewers. I got a bunch of lurkers. What up, lurkers? How you doing, Robert? Um, I will say this, y'all are gonna really want to tune in for this episode. It is kind of a 1 year celebration, and we have an 11 o'clock, and we have a 1 hour hard stop for this episode for a reason we'll get into later, and it's the reason I'm drinking horchata today. Ah, so how y'all doing? We'll let more people filter in, and uh, and yeah, we'll start with the "How was your week?" segment that people love so much. Let's go with eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a co-host by the toe. If he hollers, let him go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. We got Speargrass. How was your week? You're muted.
Yes, I am. Sorry, I was just I was copying the link to over to my Facebook so I could just let everyone know that we're live and it's a 1 year anniversary and Wrought Revisited. So just putting that on my
Yep.
Speargrass
Everybody should be doing
on
that. Copy
face.
and share the stream. Put it to the
hmm
Facebook groups, and we're doing giveaways today and talking Wrought again. How was your week,
That
Adam?
My week was fairly good. Had a my f- well, it's been good, but it's also been a little bit sad. My This week I had my father had a long time family friend, basically an uncle from a different family line, come up, and so I got to see him a few times. Um, and they come out and visited my place and hung out with my dad a bit and my stepmom and my sister and a few other friends around their place, just chilling out and enjoying company. But also a little bit of sad news is the other day one of my aunt unfortunately passed away after an
Oh,
8 year battle with cancer. But they gave her 3 years and she lasted eight. So we're thankful that she got a few extra years out of it and a bit more time with the family. Yeah, so like I said, it's been a bit of a bittersweet week, but not dwelling on things. She's no longer in pain and no longer suffering, so that's a good thing. But other than that, it's been a fairly quiet week. It's been bucketing down here. It's been raining just about every day, which it has been actually most of Australia, most particularly most of the east coast. We've had floods and stuff like that in the lower New South Wales and northern Victoria regions. Hopefully that doesn't move up to the northern parts of New South Wales. I know, heavens knows that we've had plenty of floods this last 6 months, 8 months down in New South Wales, and so hopefully the water, well, as much as Australia is the one of the driest continents on Earth, they've had a bit too much water in too short a period of time. But now the wet season up here has pretty much started to set in. It's been bucketing down already, so I reckon we had about what 50 mil of rain. So what's that? I'm just trying to think of that in inches. That's about what 20 about 2 inches of rain just this afternoon. And so yeah, just trying to get things set up in order to see out the wet season. It's unfortunately, wet season is a little bit of a slow period for me because I can't really do anything outside except for mow the lawns, and that's in between the rain. So I got that done thankfully this week, and slowly getting just been. My wife has been putting veggie gardens in and trying to get things all set up for this coming wet season. When it comes to blacksmithing, I've just been uh, haven't been doing much. I'm still trying to get my workshop built. Unfortunately, it's kind of picked the worst. I reckon I picked the worst time to try and get anything done because of, as we all know, prices are starting to escalate around the
Art.
world and various things. And yeah, so trying to get anything done is a bit tough at the moment. So, but it is what it is, and I will get it done eventually. When I've got a bit of time and maybe a bit of extra manpower, uh, hijack a few friends to come around and help me do do some things.
I hear you.
Mm.
Well, condolences to your aunt, um, to you and your family. Um, that's rough. But yeah, sounds like either Australia's either burning or underwater. So
Hmm.
y'all take care
There's
of
actually there's a poem that was by I think I can't remember the name of the poet. It was a lady poet and one of Australia's most famous women poets. It's the most famous poem is called "I Love a Sunburnt Country," and it goes, "I love a sunburnt country, a land of sweeping plains, of fire and of famine, of drought and flooding rains," and that absolutely encapsulates Australia.
right.
There's no half measures here. It's always full on.
Yeah, there you go. Well, Alex, how was your week?
My week wasn't too bad. I got to say it was fairly busy. I did get into the forge a little bit, and I made a little bit of progress on that shear steel dagger that I've been working on for like 2 years. I
Yeah,
mean, the dagger part itself is mostly done. I mean, like I mean, I'll have to do some more sanding on it because I sanded it to like 400 a year ago, and um, it's rusted since then, so I'll have to do that again. But
right.
I've been working on the dang guard. It's just been a thorn in my side trying to get the guard forged, and I tried doing it out of wrought iron at consequently or coincidentally, and I have shaved a piece of that bridge rod off and tried to forge it. I've tried on 4 different occasions to forge a piece of wrought iron for that guard, and in every single opportunity or every single instance, it has split on me. Um,
Uh,
and so and just so frustrating. Sometimes I get the hole punched or the slot punched, and sometimes I don't even get that far. And then I wound up actually going with a piece of that stainless steel bar stock that I got from Kevin at Quad State,
right.
and yeah, I forged that down into like 1/4 inch thick, and just I made a guard for it, and then I punched it and drifted it to fit the dagger, but it was kind of wonky. Like the slot wasn't quite straight, and one side was longer than the other. And I sat there and looked at it, and I'm like, well, how much grinding is this going to take to fix? And then I was like, you know what? I think I could do better. And so I did another one. Pulled the bar back out, upset it, got it all squared off, drew it out, and got another one made. And actually, that one is cut out and ready to rock and roll. It's in my it's out in my shop right now. I brought it with me home just in case I wanted to fire up the forge and go ahead and hot cut in the shape I'm looking for. But I haven't gotten that far, and I may not this week. But it's one of those things that if I get around to it, there's the project I'm going to work on. If I get out into the forge, and if I don't, no big deal.
Right.
Other than that, it was a medium week of work. Nothing too insane. Just got a few hours of overtime in between Tuesday and Friday, and I came home yesterday because I got my pickup is broke down, and I'm waiting on a radiator to come in for it, and so my daughter drove up to Midland to pick me up, and she got there at about like 8 o'clock at night, and I was still out 2 hours away working, and I told her, oh, here's the key to my room, just go take a nap, whatever. I'll wake you up when I get there and get loaded up, and I'll drive us home. Man, I didn't get here back to the house till 5 o'clock yesterday morning. It sucked, but
Oof.
I had to pull. It's a 100-mile drive from work to my house, and I had to pull over and sleep 3 times.
Right.
And then yesterday we had Bronttoberfest, which is our local rendition of Oktoberfest. and that was a really good time. We had 3 bands out here. This all takes place in the city park, and we had 3 bands, and they had the annual running of the wieners, wiener dog races, and we had beer stein holding contest where you got to hold the stein out like this, and the men went, I think, like 5 minutes was the record, and because it beat last year's record by like 30 seconds or something like that, and the women was like 2 minutes and 46 seconds. That was. I mean, just watch, everybody's rock solid holding that beer stein up, and it's one of them big ones. It's full, it's full of beer, and then pretty soon it's like tilting and it starts shaking, and it's like, oh, they're gonna go. Anyways, it's a really good time. So yeah, there's that stuff, and we got like commemorative T-shirts for it and shit stuff. I mean, but I ordered those, or Micah ordered those a month ago or whatever. But it was a really good time. I wound up getting to bed about 2 o'clock this morning. So
Right.
hence when you popped into the Discord this morning, I was the first one there, and I'm just sitting there with my head in my hands like this, and you're like, good morning, and I'm like, morning. Oh, you just woke up? No, I've been up for half an hour.
All right.
To be fair,
Okay.
to be fair,
To be fair,
holding out a beer stein, that's stein is generally about 1 liter, which is about a quarter, 3/4 of a gallon. It's 4.4 liters a gallon, so a quarter of a gallon. Plus the weight of the glass, and a glass, if it's a glass stein, then that's generally about a kilo. So you're holding about 2-ish kilos of, and so that's about 4.4 pounds at full extension. That's a heavy weight to hold it full
yeah.
extension.
And you
try
got
it.
you don't have to lock your elbow, but you have to hold it straight out. If you can't spill any of the beer, you can't lean to the left, you can't lean to the right, you can't lean back. You have to stay standing straight up. And if you lock your elbow or not, that's up to you. But
Hey, and spilling beer is a party foul. We all know this. That's
right,
a
right.
penalty.
last year, every time, I mean, we only had one round last year. Like there was only like 8 people that did it or something like that, and so like every time the person would lose, they'd chug their beer or whatever when they'd lose. This year we had like 3 or 4 heats. So
All right. Well, I wish I could say I had fun like you guys. My week, yeah, back at, busy at work, and I threw my back out or did something horrible to my back that just belies my age. uh, Injured my back at work, fought through it throughout work, and then took a painkiller on Friday morning to get me through Friday. And this is the first time I've actually sat up for an extended period of time uh, since I got off of work at Friday. So it's like, ow. but um, but yeah, it's just getting old, and any little injury, I guess, is exasperated, yeah, made worse by age. Um, so it's just an arg situation. Um, but yeah, I'll carry through it and stick some electrodes to my back after the show, and make sure that I'm able to be out in the shop in some capacity tonight. And we'll see what I can come up with for the show tonight. Got a busy day ahead of us, though. Um, for today's episode, it is Wrought Revisited, because it's also our 1 year anniversary of our current format for the show. Uh, I could not tell you offhand how long specifically I've been hosting the Sunday morning gathering. It's been a couple years at least. Um, but since we, uh, back in the day, brought on Sully and Alex and Adam to co-host with me. um, and we decided on this format of doing a topic of the week and metal of the week and everything. And it's been 1 year since we've done that. And we started with a soft open for Wrought Iron. So we've made it a year and we're revisiting it because it's fun. In addition to that, I've got several items to give away throughout the episode today. And we have a hard out at 11. So it's going to be quick, it's going to be fun, it's going to be busy, and we hope to be entertaining at the same time.
It's a scary thought to think we've been doing this for a year, isn't it?
I know. Fair warning to those in the chat. I believe what we're doing is for the giveaway is the answers to any questions, which will be based on knowledge of the show and of the blacksmithing community. The answers to the questions should be typed out in the Discord. And that is the pinned link at the top. If you're not a part of the Discord, I recommend you join it. It's the Forge chat, and the answers and whatnot and questions will be put in the Metal of the Week tab. Let me pull that over here so you guys can see it. Give me a second.
Well, then are we going to have only like 3 people answering questions?
Not necessarily.
I'm happy to keep it. If they want to type it in chat, I'm happy to keep an eye on the answers.
Okay. All right.
And that way people who don't quite have access to Discord can still participate in our giveaway today.
Okay. We'll do it that way then.
Mm-hmm.
I'll move this back. Transition again. All right. Anyway, so yeah, can we talk about why we have a hard out at 11, or should we just skip that?
We can talk about it.
Okay.
We can promo it.
Okay, so I'm not sure the time that we're starting recording, but after the show today, we are recording a podcast exclusive. It's an exclusive interview for the podcast listeners only. So if you're interested in that, I highly recommend you head over to the Impractical Blacksmiths podcast and download all the episodes, star it, and follow along. It's something you can toss on your earbuds while you're working in your shop or driving in your truck or ignoring the wife. But the interview today is with Forged in Fire runner-up Eduardo Sol, Mr. Gaucho himself. I like to call him Tiny Handle, but that's just me. He's going to kill me, and it's Eduardo, so it might actually happen. But yeah, we have a special guest that we are going to be interviewing exclusively for the podcast, and we're recording that later.
Yeah, and the main reason we wanted to do that one as an exclusive is so we didn't have to censor it.
Yeah,
I mean, not that we have to censor this show, but we like to keep it family friendly. And Eduardo is probably the funniest person I've ever met in person in my life, and trying to contain that with restrictions on what you can and can't say would just
ruin it.
Yeah. I mean, we got to get him in his natural state, you know.
Yeah. So we each sent him a bottle of the finest tequila and told him that by 11:30 he has to have finished all 3 of them, and he said that's it, you know. So he probably grabbed himself another couple of bottles, you know. I'm not calling him a drunk. Ed, I love you. But yeah, so I think before we get started, actually, I just had to disconnect and reconnect. It says it's reconnected, so I did not get the I did not get the. Okay. All right.
Oh,
Looks
you
like we're
seem to
back.
be running again on my end. Yep.
Yeah, it looks like we're back. It disconnected and reconnected real quick. Um, people in the chat, are you still there? Weird.
Yeah. Well. We're doing a giveaway. That's
Yeah.
where
Mhm.
that's
What y'all missed is
that's
we're
where
doing the
Ahmed
giveaway.
dropped out. He didn't actually ask the question. He dropped out on our end too. So
Yeah, I haven't asked the question yet, just in case somebody got half of it and decided to, figure out what the question was unfairly. Um, so, yeah. Now that we're all here, and it looks like my signal is holding strong. Are we gonna go with the first question you sent me?
You
Yep.
you can just pick any question you want off the list.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Drum roll.
Let's go with an easy one for the first one. First person to say whose place we stay at every September in Ohio. Do 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 do. Every September at Quad State, we go to somebody's house and we stay there as opposed to staying at the fairgrounds. Up, up, up.
Yep. Shane Lalonde got it by the look of it in there with coffee straight
Okay.
away.
Oh,
Coffee
how
ground.
how are we gonna do this? Because Shane Alon got the last name. Trail Dust got the last name with the applicable apostrophe s, but he misspelled it with only one f.
Nah. First one in that's just close enough. I mean, like we all nickname, full name, first name, last name. Any of it's
And
acceptable.
I was
It's
gonna say,
all acceptable.
and technically, Paul Fontanini did get in with the actual place,
Got in with the place,
and
but I said the
so,
name of the
so
person.
yeah, and John Brunel said the full name. So if we're going to be splitting hairs, Shane Lalonde got in there first. We have
Yeah.
to give it to Shane.
Okay. You are going to get one of the bottle openers, one of the uh, little bottle openers that I made in the other stream. Uh, so
Hey,
congratulations,
Yamid,
Shane. Hey.
is that a hardened steel bottle opener?
No,
I was going to say, because that looks remarkably like a flint striker as well. 2-in-1, flint striker and bottle opener.
this one specifically is just mild steel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that is a good idea, making these out of W1 or some hardenable steel so that it can double as a flint striker, a true emergency tool.
Yep.
But neither here nor there. Hey, big dog. Oh, it's not rigged. I told everybody make sure you're live.
And I did post it to Facebook, guys. If you have me on Facebook, you would have seen it. So there's no excuse. And if you're subscribed and have the bell notification clicked, you would have got a notification of when we went live. So if you're late to here and you're late to the giveaways, then it's your own fault.
So that one specifically is made out of mild steel. I do have one of them that is made out of wrought iron that will be sent away, and I've got a little one. I'm hoping Ben wins that. It would be perfect for cracking beers. Ow, my back. Hi, D Nice.
All right, so just saying good adios to Aimless Adventures. Thanks for joining us, and
Bye,
hope you listen to
Matt.
this later on the podcast on the replay.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, a little bit of discussion about wrought. I know that we've covered it, and by the way, another item that I'm giving away is a nice chunk of wrought iron. This is 3/4 by about 7 inches.
Sure.
Maybe 8 inches. I don't
Ooh.
know.
Papa.
but yeah, so we lost 5 people, 5 viewers who we lost 5 viewers because they didn't realize that the way we would be doing this is asking questions about the show. They just joined because it said giveaway, and when they found out they actually had to, know what we're talking about. 6 viewers. We're down 6. All right. Way to weed them out. They're like, oh, screw this. I want a giveaway.
Gonna make me work for it. It's not worth it.
Right? All right. I'd rather have loyal cult members. No, listen.
One of us. One of us.
But yeah, so in Wrought Revisited, on the topic at hand, we had discussed in the past, briefly what Wrought is and what it does and how to work it and everything. And it's a fantastic. I've had people ask me, oh, is Wrought hard to come by? Where do you get Wrought? And like the answer to that is, it's like, as far as I know, up until very recently, they stopped making it because it's, as far as materials go, it's an inferior material. For like using as structural steel and whatnot, or compared to structural steel. Um, but due to the resurgence of blacksmithing and the revival of the artisan blacksmith in popularity, I believe, and I couldn't tell you the name of the company, but I believe a company has started making it again and to distribute it. I couldn't tell you the name of the company, so I couldn't give you a link to go find it. The easiest way to find it without finding this company is to attend, blacksmith gatherings, be it like a local guild or an Abana get together or a guild party and whatnot. And um, you know, you find it. Some people get lucky when they tear down an old bridge or greenhouse or whatever, where in the past that wrought iron was the easiest and cheapest material for the time. So, not cheapest material, but like metal. And as those age out into obsolescence and they tear those structures down, I believe even some old water towers were wrought. Those go to scrap, and people in the know pick them up and store them and then sell them at events and whatnot. So that's kind of where to find it now, is people who have acquired it. Um, but yeah, and how it's made um, we talked. Was it last week we talked smelting?
Yeah, yes, I believe so.
Yeah, and one of the things we touched on was doing a bloom and ending up with pig iron. You know, and not going back into the topic of how to acquire pig iron, but pig iron is the result of the bloom. And then you take that pig iron and you work it, you draw it out, fold it over, draw it out, and uh, wrought the iron into a more solid bar. You busting out all the impurities, and it's a process of wrought iron. Wrought means worked, so it's worked iron. And the more you do it, the more refined you get. So uh, you can really knock out all the impurities and get a pretty pure bar of iron, you know. So so yeah, fun stuff. Um, y'all are just scanning the chat, aren't you?
Well, I'm actually, I was actually going to
Pulling up some.
no. Well, I actually have stuff pulled up, but oh, here we are. I'm already there. I was going to throw another question in our list, but
Okay.
I also do. I also was going to touch a little bit on the history of Wrought here
More than
momentarily.
welcome to. I mean, let me see.
But I'll do that.
Would you guys like to do another giveaway item? We
Yeah,
only have half an hour left.
Yeah. Let's do another giveaway real quick.
Okay.
Yep, that's smashed it out.
I'm gonna go with the small and dainty bottle opener. Okay. So if you've got small dainty hands or know somebody who's got small dainty hands that would like a gift, and for the record, I will wire brush these and put my stamp on them before I send them out. So these are just the rough pieces. Um, but for the small and dainty one, the question, everybody be ready. The question will be um, what steel did we cover that turned out to not be an alloy, but was in fact a specification for steel? It wasn't, it's something that we had thought was an alloy, thought was a specific type of steel. But when we actually did the research, found that it was just a designation for a certain, properties of
A certain toughness, if you will.
certain toughness.
Oh, I know.
I'll bet you know. No, not tungsten. This is a harder one. I should have probably saved this one for, the big prize, because this is a difficult question.
Yeah, miss. Megan
Nope.
Hart. Oh, no, not Atlantic
Nope,
13.
not Atlantic 13.
Oh, we got it, John Brunel.
Mr. Brunel.
Got it.
John Brunel, AR 500, very good. Is the specification of steel, not an alloy.
Yes.
So typically, most commonly, AR 500 is just 4140.
Yes.
That is tempered. It's not what do you call it? It's not annealed like you would normally get it at the metal getting place. It's actually been heat treated. So
yes, and that was gonna, if nobody could guess it, that was gonna be my hint, that it is primarily made with 4140, or started with 4140. So John gets the itty bitty little bitty one.
He's sent it to Ben, he reckons. His hands are too big. He wants Ben to have it. No, those dainty hands.
Did he say that?
Yeah.
Did he say send it to Ben? Okay.
Send it to Ben.
Is it official? Send it to Ben?
Yep. He said send it to Ben.
Send it to Ben. All right.
Yep.
I think it's forged perfect for your left arm.
Ha ha.
Oh.
But Tish. So
Tish.
Just to come deranged, there was a company in England that produces wrought iron. Unfortunately, they'll only do it if someone orders 100 tons or more. There are select companies around the world that will do it, that do still produce new iron stock, but it's not common. They usually do it for reconstructive or conservation projects, restoration. So it's not a common mode of production anymore. It pretty much stopped just after or just before World War II. The use of the widespread use of steel came into effect after World War One. Just had better properties than wrought iron. There were still some projects that were still using it after World War One, but by the end of World War II, the world had practically moved to steel, and there was no real reason to produce the quantities of iron that we did before, particularly because raw iron had actually been stopped, less produced from about the 1880s, 1890s, particularly with the introduction of the Bessemer process, which was a way to smelt steel or turn iron into steel. So so it was gradually phased out over 50 odd years, and then by the end of World War II, we were basically using steel, and so the wrought production facilities are a lot lower than it was once upon a time.
Yeah.
Sure. So I was gonna go a little further back than that. Wrought iron has been used for almost millennia, and it's the iron that's referred to throughout Western history. The other form of iron, cast iron, was in use in China since ancient times, but it wasn't really didn't really come to Western Europe until the 15th century. Even then, due to its brittleness, it could be used just for a few things, limited purpose. Throughout much of the Middle Ages, iron was produced by the direct reduction of ore in manually operated bloomeries, which, do it a bloom. Although water power had been begun to be employed by about 1104. The raw material produced by all indirect processes is pig iron. It has a high carbon content and as a consequence is brittle and cannot be used to make hardware. The Osmond process was the first of the indirect processes developed in 1203, but bloomery production continued in many places. The process depended on the development of the blast furnace, of which medieval examples have been discovered all over the place. The bloomery and Osmond process were gradually replaced from the 5th century by a finery process, of which there were two versions, the German and Walloon. They were in turn replaced from the late 16th century by puddling with certain variants such as Swedish Lancashire process, and those are all obsolete now. And wrought is no longer manufactured commercially, except like we were talking about earlier in those little special circumstances where they're doing,
special requests.
Yeah, special requests or typically like restoration of like say they're restoring some of the ironwork in the Notre Dame Cathedral or
I was
something like
just going to
that.
say, yeah, I was just going to say with the fire at the Notre Dame a few years ago, the cathedral, they had to their goal was to recreate it, and if they were going to do it, they had to do it with if they were going to historically recreate it, they had to use wrought.
And that's
So
I do believe they did intend to do that.
yeah, and Stephen Parsons is the one that I think sparked Adam to look up to the UK company that was doing it and find out that information. So yeah, thank you, Stephen. But yeah, so I was wrong. I was under the assumption that there was a company out there making wrought commercially available or retail available, not commercially. It is commercially available, but when you're buying enough to do something, they're producing it for not recreational,
Industrial.
industrial applications, which is neat.
Mhm.
I'll buy 100 tons of wrought.
Sure.
Sure.
What is that? $20? 25? 20, 20,
Yeah.
20, do I hear 30? Do I hear 30? Do I hear 30, 30, 35, 30?
Dang. Too rich for my blood.
Sold it. $35.
But yeah, so
As is, where is?
yeah. In the home shop, wrought is if you get your hands on it and if you stick around, you'll get a chance to get your hands on some. It's fun to use at the heat that you're supposed to forge it at like at forge welding temperatures, so like at a lemon yellow, and that prevents that splitting that Sully was talking about before. Um, when you work it too cold, it moves like butter. It just moves so easily, and it makes beautiful shapes. And you clean it up and toss it in some acid, and depending on how long you leave it in there, you can get anywhere from just a nice uh, sheen of the grain where it's like you can see the grain, but it's just kind of there, or you can leave it in there so long that it like chews it away and it looks like a chunk of wood. And I just love wrought iron. I love working with it. I'm so glad that I got a whole bunch of it now, so I could really play with it. Bye, Wayne. You take care.
Yeah,
Um,
see you, Wayne. Be
but
safe out there.
but yeah.
So yeah, we've over the course of the last year, we know the wrought iron is such a popular topic that we have touched on it here and there when we've talked about welding or talked about forging, proper forging temps and all that type of thing. We have touched on it over the course of the last year a few times. Like I mean, even just with I think it might have been last week, maybe the week before, when we were talking to Roy about the forge welding at cherry heat. That generally refers to talking about wrought iron and stuff like that. So And if we talk about forging wrought, getting it up to near on welding temperatures, that of course means you've got to pay attention to what is a near on welding temperature is in your forge. But it's hot and high heat, and it even comes back to the old blacksmith sayings and the blacksmith colloquialisms in the strike while the iron's hot and stuff like that. It's wrought iron is an integral part of smithing, no matter what you look at it. Even to the modern day, where we're talking about, if you make a gate or a balustrade or something like that, you are still producing wrought work. You're still producing wrought iron. It's just now it's the base metal is steel, as opposed to the actual base metal being proper wrought iron.
So, Jack Pine's blacksmithing asks, why is wrought iron grainy? Is pure iron less lattice-like? Somebody want to take that? Explain the grain pattern on wrought?
Well, I know the why it has a grainy appearance, and that is because it's essentially the layers of iron with impurities and stuff like that as you're working it down. So really unrefined wrought, something that, I just need something metal real quick for something, will be, or something that's not really load bearing or need to be highly refined. They kind of work it quickly to make the item.
So, well, what I was alluding to was the way wrought iron is made is it's folded and folded and folded and folded and just stretched out and folded and stretched out. Over. That's why it's wrought. It's work. And by doing that, all of the impurities that are in it, the silicon, the manganese, just all of the junk that's in it from the bloom, winds up getting stretched out into like a fibrous shape instead of like being puddles inside there. By the repeated folding, it stretches them out, and it winds up, when they're making it, it squeezes those impurities out the ends. And so it's mainly silica. That is the main impurity in wrought iron that gives it that grainy look. Because if you continue to work it, that's when you get into the higher grades and lower grades of wrought. Lower grade wrought is only worked a certain amount, and then it's good enough. And so when it etches, it shows a really good pattern because there's still a lot of impurities in it. Now, higher grade wrought, like say railroad track or shear steel, those things are worked and worked and worked and worked, maybe 2 or 3 times longer than the low grade wrought, and so therefore they have a very low to no etch quality whatsoever. I've got some wrought track that you can barely tell. Just cutting a slice off of it and etching it, you couldn't tell. I had to actually cut the top off of the track and then draw the whole thing out into a bar and etch that, and then I could tell it was wrought. And the same thing with my shear steel, and shear steel is just a high carbon version of wrought iron that they used in like carriage springs and cutlery and stuff back in the 14, 15, 16, 1700s. And so I forgot where I was going with that. But yeah. It doesn't have much of an etch. When you etch it, it looks almost like a Damascus. It's really neat. But yeah, but it's the silicon that gives it the pattern.
Yeah.
And it's also why in certain older blacksmithing books you come across statements like Swedish iron and Norway iron and Russian iron, or Alomor iron is another good one, because these were companies and smelters or regions that produce very high quality iron that you could use for tools and specialty equipment. You didn't use them for, you paid a premium because they were more worked, so that you as a smith didn't have to work them as much when you got them. Of course, and it also comes down to the fact that different smiths were used to working different materials. And got used to that. So that all one smith might use Norway iron over Swedish iron because he got used to working with Norway iron, so that was the be all and end all for them. But at the end of the day, you just have to remember that that these were premium irons, just like you pay a premium for premium steel nowadays.
Yeah. All right. So
yeah, we got what, 15 minutes left, and we still got a couple items to give away. So let's
we're
grab
moving.
another.
we're moving on to the wrought iron items now. That same bottle opener, last one I'll be giving away. This one is made from wrought iron. Um, I will clean this up, put my stamp on it, and do a light etch, not a full-on wood grain, deep like 3-day etch. But I will put a light etch on that and send it out to the winner of this one. The next one after that will be the bar of wrought iron, so that you can make a item of your own. So the question for this one will be,
Drum roll again.
yeah, let's go with name 2 of the guests that we've had on the show in the last year, other than the obvious Roy and Big Dog. Okay. We've had a total of, I believe, 6 guests on the show, 2 of them being Roy, Adams, and Big Dog.
And you have to name 2.
And you can't be one of them.
No, you can be one of them, but you can't name yourself.
Oh,
well, yeah.
Okay. Hold on. This was a dumb one. All right.
I don't think it was a dumb one at all.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Jack Hines. First one to get 2 of them that wasn't one of them. Trail Dust. If you had said somebody other than Trail Dust, you'd have gotten it.
Yeah, if Kevin had said someone other than himself, it would have been bang. He would have got it straight away. Yep. Well. Yeah, congratulations.
Jack Pines got the wrought iron one. And he stole the answer from Kevin. That's why I said this is a dumb one.
and you guys, you spelled Sam's name wrong. It's Towns. It's plural. I'm lucky he's not here tonight.
I'll tell you what. To be a runner-up, I've got one more mild steel bottle opener. I'll send that over to you there, Kevin. Mainly to thank you for being you and all that steel you gave away at Quad State. I'm gonna send that to you. So I hope somebody's writing this down.
Yeah, Adam's supposed to be tracking the giveaways and who's getting what. So.
Yep. Quick with my notepad.
So the other people who have been on the show, just so you guys know, we've had Granddad's Forge, Roy Adams, Sam Towns, Tim from Big Dog Forge, Trail Dust, and one that was forgotten in that list was actually he frequently pops in and asks questions and kind of hangs out. And for some reason, I'm drawing a blank. He was actually in the chat 1 year ago in the wrought iron episode. Okay, he was in the voice chat, and I can't for the life of me.
Are you talking about Michael?
Oh, he's another one. But yeah, so we've had several guests over the years, and it's always been a pleasure to have people in, and that's why we do this. Is if you want to be a part of the show, just hop in the Discord chat and raise your hand and we'll chat with you. This is a community show by the community for the community. We're just the facilitators here. So congratulations. Let me see. Yeah, John. He didn't give away the steel. We gave away his steel. Go ahead.
I got a question that is not giveaway related, but for all of you people that are in the chat, we got 20-ish people in there right now. plus or minus a person every now and then. Those of you that have been with us for this whole journey, even going back, I mean, some of you have been part of the show since before we did we had co-hosts, and some of you been here for this when we didn't even not even Yamaz hosted it, when this was still Tim's show. And so in your opinion, over the and I not worried about all that, but over the course of the last year, would you agree that on an average basis, or that we've kind of improved the content or the watchability or even the desire to catch the show? I mean, versus what we were doing before. I mean, the topic of the week or metal of the week or whatever. So, I mean, sometimes we're winging it. Sometimes we put a whole lot of effort into it. It just depends on how our week was. But would you guys like it?
And in that line also, how do you think we're doing, and is there anything you'd like to see added in the future? We are a community based show. What do you want to see?
Yeah.
We always happy to take suggestions, and if you've got a segment you'd like to have popped in, or a topic you want to have discussed, let us know. We're happy to do it, and we're always wanting to improve.
Yeah, and like I say, if you, or like I say, like Adam said, if you want to pitch a segment, go for it. I mean, that's a year and a week ago, after the show, I talked to Yamaz and I was like, hey man, what if we introduced like segments to the show, like instead of just sitting and talking? What if I like metal of the week, and and we go through all that, and this, and it morphed into this thing that we have now. So it was just, and all I did was just pitch an idea. And they're like, hey, what if we did this? So if you guys got any ideas, hey.
Who approved that comment?
I don't know. I wasn't approving it, and I was going to say I'll leave that to you.
Wait, what was it?
Stephen Winsby. I ain't saying it.
Wait, whose comment?
Stephen's.
Steve Parsons.
That was probably Ben that approved it. So,
Granddad said it was him.
All right, yeah. So, yeah, I'll read through this chat as well. But like, in all seriousness, if you guys have, we'd love to have like a testimonials and suggestions segment or page and whatnot. And I'll try and write that up in the Impractical Blacksmiths, the YouTube community chat. I'll put a little thing in there in the Discord server, or I'll put a post up, or one of us will put a post up on YouTube about asking what you guys think of the show, and you guys can discuss it there in the comments. That would be a good idea. So.
Oh yeah.
6 minutes. 6 minutes.
Yeah,
we've got a heart out.
What? And we got a giveaway still, don't we? Or
we've got one more giveaway, the wrought iron, and then we've got to get to our final thoughts. All right. Time constraints. Woo! Blacksmiths, you have 5 minutes left.
It's gonna be as hectic as 5 minutes till we go live.
Hi, Wawa Skittles. I don't have time to sit there and say hello and I love you and all that stuff, but hi, tell Big Zach, or Little Zach I said hi, give everybody a hug for me. Rub Charlie's belly for me. That's my sister-in-law. All right. So,
hi, Wawa.
So, for me, something words, wrought iron, 3/4 inch by 7-ish inches. Giveaway. Question. I lost a page.
I'll ask it.
Okay.
Okay. So what metal did we recently cover that Alex found too brittle to forge? Now, this is a bit where we do the.
I know. Hold on.
And Trail Dust gets it anyway. Kevin come through with the gallium. Well done.
Deranged wants to see more about tungsten. Is this tungsten?
Okay.
Okay. So that's going in there.
Okay, now to be fair, tungsten is also on the brittle side for forging. However,
You're breaking up. You haven't actually forged it, is what you're trying to say.
yes.
Yeah, you went all matrixy on us. So
Yep. So hang on, I got to write that one down too before I forget with Kevin. So guys,
okay.
remember don't forget that if you have won a prize tonight, don't forget to drop us a line at islandmetalforge@gmail.com, so that way we can actually get your addresses and flick you your prizes. In the subject, why don't you drop the just as a subject, right? Anniversary show giveaway winner. Of course, it should have your name in that email so that we can get your prizes out to you as soon as possible.
And an address. I'm not.
Yeah,
It's like
address too.
I know. Last time I got an address from Ben, it said, second tree on the left on the dirt road.
In Hobbitsville.
In the Shire. All right. So let's move on to our final thoughts. Let's go with. Well, I heard about your week first. So Alex, what's your final thoughts there?
My final thoughts. This show's been a long time in the making, and I really enjoy doing it every week. I can't believe it's been a year that we've been doing it like this. So it's been a great time. It's been a great ride, and I hope to be doing it for years to come. And when it comes to wrought iron, if you don't have any, I recommend you try to find some. Whether that's that's a whole different sketchy subject matter where to get that. But I recommend you get your hands on some and play with it a bit. And remember, no matter what you do, hot, hot, hot. When you think it's hot enough, it's not. So get out your forge, get you some wrought iron, and make something beautiful. See y'all next week. Oh, and don't forget to check out the Impractical Blacksmithing podcast for the special episode that we're going to be recording here shortly. Should be up maybe in a week.
Yep. All right. Now I wonder because okay, I'll go with you there, Adam. What's your final thoughts? I just had a final thought.
You that's probably your final thought.
No.
No. Yeah, like a year in this format. That's there's been I've of course been one of those people that watched and tuned in ever since it was Big Dog, and it was basically the catching up and having a Sunday morning coffee, or for me Sunday night, and just to chat and chat at his workbench and whatnot. Then I remember when it evolved into you holding it there, Yamas, and then somehow I got, I was on there regularly or taken over when you were unable to do it. And then, it's moved on to this, and now we've expanded into podcasts. It's an amazing journey that we've taken. And guys, all I can say is it's all because of you and the listeners and the watchers, even the ones that are lurking and don't say anything. Guys, share this. The only way we're going to grow is to share this. If you want to grab on. If you want to put it on the Facebook forums and stuff like that, and share it with your other blacksmithing friends, that'd be absolutely appreciated. We love our and we love our community. We and of course we don't get paid. We do this out of pure passion, because this is all our passion. So yeah. So just before we get to Yamas, you can find Yamas on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. You can find Alex at Transcendental Artist Studios on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, and you can find me, Adam, at Speargrass Forge on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Don't forget, if you have any suggestions for tool of the week, middle of the week, or any other topic, leave it under the hashtag middle of the week in the YouTube community chat on Discord, or you can email us at islandmetalforge@gmail.com. Finally, if you found us on Anchor, Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, or Google Podcasts, we generally upload every Wednesday-ish, or you can join us live every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's currently 11:30 p.m. Australian Central Standard Time, but check that against your local time, just to ensure that you're currently write, and that's at Element of Forge YouTube channel. Finally, thanks for joining us. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and hit the bell notification on YouTube so you get updates on when we do actually go live here on a Sunday morning. Also, if you are joining us and listening to this podcast later on, guys, don't forget to leave a rating. That helps us with the rankings, helps more people find us. In of course, we do have our good friends over at the other podcast, and they join us occasionally, but help us grow it and get up there as well. So I'd love to be able one day to go, there's two Aussies on rival blacksmithing podcast at the top of the list, but but yeah, finally, thanks for joining us, and we really appreciate your support, guys. It's what gets us here every week to do this.
Okay. Yeah.
That's not a podcast. That's a podcast.
So my final thoughts should be quick. As always, thank you guys. I love you all. And I noticed that we have our interviewee in the chat with us. And I will leave this decision up to Alex on whether or not we allow people to listen into the live recording here in Discord. If we do that, I will hard mute you so you cannot speak, but you can listen in.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So if you join the Discord and go into the Impractical Blacksmiths live chat, you will be able to listen into the live discussion behind the scenes. And
do we want to move to the stage for that?
No, I can hard mute people, I think.
Okay. Well, that works.
Yeah, I can hard mute people. So
okay, it'll be fine then. Yeah.
So yeah. So with that, yeah, because we can't do video with stage. That's the problem.
Right. That's right.
All right.
Okay.
So love you guys. I will see you all tonight. And for those of you who want to join into this special interview, if you do join and you find that you are not muted right away, please be respectful and don't start jabbering. Okay. Or you will be kicked. Love you guys. All right. I will catch you all later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.